that's why, ironically, my big toe is the shortest of all the toes. Oh! Hello. You're back. And you decided to join me on this marvelous adventure we call multiple deaths in a short amount of time. Or Neo. That is not what it translates to, but it's what it feels like. So, this is just a basic refresher, and it's a kind of insight for a certain somebody who's thinking about purchasing the game. This is all for you. So, at the heart of it, Neo is simply a Souls-like game, which if you haven't played those, they are designed for... I guess the best way to look at it, it's RPG elements of action-adventure, and then, really, this is a game of pattern watching, is the way that I would put it. So, it's good, but, you know, it's not one where you can... Not always. You can't always just rush in and just, like, hack and slash. This takes some blocking and skill, and you just have to be aware of it all. But it is an overloaded and very complicated, can be complicated for anybody who really doesn't know what they're doing. So I'm going to start a new game. Yes, I would like that. Thank you. So I'm going to do a little talking over the this introduction, mostly because you can experience it on your own and kind of enjoy it. I'll try to go over the leveling system and the item management, because I think a lot of like JRPGs have a lot of they've got a lot of like complicated inventory kinds of systems. So, and this isn't different, but there's a way to kind of navigate it easily. And obviously, you know, the more that you play with it, the easier it becomes. So, we are not amused. Oh, sorry.
Spain, the country where the sun never sets, for control of the entire world.
So the crystal you're seeing, this Emerita, this is the resource that's needed for almost everything. It's needed to your guardian, and that's not a metaphor or euphemism for anything. It's needed for leveling your character and unlocking more abilities. So it's a pretty big resource that you're going to be constantly after, but it's very easy to find. You can find a lot of Amrita anywhere, picking up items or killing enemies. One of the main reasons why I want to show you this is because while there is multiplayer, and you can play about 92% of the game with somebody, the first two levels you're on your own. And the first level, this Tower of London, isn't terribly difficult. It's a good introduction, but the second level is a huge, you know, increase in terms of difficulty. So, but this is kind of an homage to a lot of the Souls games as well. Almost all Souls games, you're starting in some sort of prison with almost nothing. Except in the Souls games, you're dead. Here, you're alive. That's just a normal Monday for me.
Death won't stop chasing me.
Where's me porridge? Oh. Fine. So you can see that you can... It'll give you early stuff in the tutorial. Ah, Chris Redfield. Good. Your short attacks are with square, so you can do smaller attacks. Your larger, more powerful attacks are with triangle, and they take up more.
What are you doing?
Uh-oh. Now, because it's a Souls game, enemies have, they've got a lot more health than you do.
I should have run when I had the chance.
And he's probably going to kill me. Because there's a way to get... Great. I got a sword. And I have to open the menu, but I can't. One of the things about the game is because it's constantly... because it has no real, like, pause. Oh, he dropped purple? Oh, the dungeon key, that's right. There's no official pause. Basically, I'm pulling up the pause menu here with the... here's the pause menu to really stop it. But this is the item management menu. But you can still move around, so when you pull this up, it means that enemies can still attack you and hurt you and do some real damage, so you have to be aware of that. So you're changing things on the fly. So real quick, this is the equipment, item management, armor, all that stuff. Melee weapons. You can only carry 2 at a time. Melee weapons can be upgraded. They can be replaced very easily. Same with ranged weapons. There are 2 that you can carry. And then each piece of armor has its own location as well. So here, foot guards. Yay. Oh, good. Smoking. And with each piece of armor and weapon, you can see that they have certain bonuses applied to them. So the sword here increases strong attack damage, which is about stance, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Tower of London boots. I've got damage reduction by 1%. Ooh. Don't hurt me now. And dash chi usage. So we'll talk about that as well. Accessories. You can carry 2 accessories when they show up. And shortcuts are for your items. Certain items that are needed throughout the levels. Usually shortcut 1 is where your elixirs go. That's your healing. If you're just looking for items in general, you can use the item bar and kind of take a look at that. The other stuff aren't completely unlocked yet, but we'll get to that in a second here. So I've got a bastard sword. And I can open these doors now. Woo! But sometimes you can see items.
I guess yourself is your only savior.
Most of the when you pick up the Amrita from like dead bodies, they're ghosts of people. The yellow stuff that you saw was Amrita. It's what's again used to level yourself up. That's right. I'm about to go outside in just my trousers and my boots. There we go. Medicine. You can see again, it's asking you to kind of take a look at shortcut item management, medicine. So in the Tower of London, medicine is what you'll use to heal yourself. In the rest of the game, it's an elixir. So, but it's the same. It's the same premise. These games are also very much. They love having you go through hidden paths and Oh, 2.5%. They love hidden paths and items that are out of the way that they want to kind of trick you to. Usually, here's the thing. Here's a good rule of thumb. If an item is out of the way and it doesn't seem like there's anybody near there, it's usually a trap. Something will happen. Either the floor will give away, somebody will try and kill you or ambush you. You just have to... watch yourself. Alright. Dead. Oh, the same boots. How kind. Human drop rate. I need clothes, so that's good. I'll take that. Okay. So I'm starting to look a little bit better. Okay. He's using a crossbow. Medicine and trousers. Yay. Okay. Better. Better. Okay, so let's talk about, real quick, some of the things. With your sword, so there's your short attack. There's your heavy attack with triangle. Guarding is with L1. And there's a dojo mission. Once you beat this first mission and kind of get your feet wet with this, they'll take you to a dojo and you can actually really do some work with it. L1 blocks. L1 will block swords and arrow attacks. It can block gunfire. It cannot block cannons or cannonballs or like rocks. Heavy rocks. You know, there's limits to it. But for the most part, you can guard with your... In the top left corner, you can see the empty circle. That's your guardian once you get one. But the top bar, the one that's like half, is my health. And the bottom green one, that's your chi usage. And you can see it slowly refill. So it's stamina, basically. The more you swing your sword, the more you're going to lose stamina. If you block and swing to a point where your stamina bar gets like that, the red, and you get hit, you're going to be winded. And you're going to be basically vulnerable for about 5 seconds. You don't want to get there. People can break you. That's what it's called. It's breaking. And you just don't want that to happen. Now, that can happen from guarding so much that they keep attacking. But it can also happen from just your usage as well. So it's a juggling act that you have to be careful with. Basically, you're trying to have like one-on-one battles so that you're not being over-encumbered. But you can see that the enemies have the same kind of two sets of bars that I do. Their bottom bar is a little more like purple, and their health bar is red. So the same properties apply to enemies as it does to yourself. If they're out of chi and their bottom bar goes red, you can do a critical attack on them. And that reticle will go red, signifying that you can do it. To achieve a critical attack, when the bar's red, it's triangle. And it'll do this massive. Sometimes it'll do like a cutscene kill. Like the camera will pull in and you can see them stab him like really up in the face. Not in the face, but in the chest or something. It depends on... It's different for each weapon, but it's incredibly fun. Ooh, damage and toughness. Thank you. Better get some health. This first level is pretty linear. There aren't too many like side paths you can take. But you're basically just trying to escape. But it is worth checking out all the areas. There's your first shrine. We can talk about that now. Shrines. Okay. Now, in the first level, there's not much you can do other than praying kind of gives you, it's a checkpoint. It'll refill your health. It'll give you the maximum amount of items you can carry. So I can carry 3 medicine here. And you can see that I just got all of them. Once we get to Japan and the game really starts, that's where you will see like the many different options and the different kind of things that you have to look out for. But for here, for this first level, it's just a checkpoint. So if I die, I will respawn here with all my items, but not my Amrita. And that's for any level. Also, these games, these Soulborn games, are designed for when you go to the shrine. When you pray at a shrine, all enemies return, except for the certain ones that come from the yokai realm, which there aren't any here, and I'll show you what that looks like again later on in the next mission. But praying will respawn everybody. It does not reset things like pathways you've opened and items you found in chests, but it does take the normal enemies back. Okay, so I found a spear. Oh, it's close combat, chi reduction. Okay. Okay, so while L1 will guard, the R1 button allows for access to weapons. Left and right changes your melee weapons. The up button will change your ranged weapons. When you get enough items, and you want to switch your styles, you know, because each weapon is different. And I'll start playing with the spear here so you can see it. Oh crap, I got both of them. But certain weapons, like the spear, will... I can hit multiple guys. But because now there's one, I'm going to switch back to my sword. And do that. Bad trousers. Putting a reticle on the guys, it's R3. It's just lock on. Medicine. Oh, battle axe. Battle axes are great, except for the fact that they... no. They are heavy. And they are slow. And they use a lot of chi. But I like them. But I'll keep playing with the sword. You're gonna find this a lot. A lot of doors they're locked from the other side. Oh no, how do I get there then? These levels are all about opening shortcuts, basically. You're taking long paths around to open doors to create shortcuts and make the level much more manageable. So I gotta go up and over and around, and then I'll come back down, and then I'll open that door to create a shortcut for...
There's only a limited amount of Amrita we can extract from this country, Kenny. Indeed, the powers of so. The leader of Japan will spark a war, and a wonderful opportunity to acquire.
There's my hat.
Once tomorrow's execution takes place, we will get our hands on a compass that will lead us to that.
Stones. Probably one of the most useless items ever. But stones are like... Oh, in Far Cry you can use stones to like distract enemies and pull them closer towards you. I mean, I've never used them. I'm not a fan of them. But they drop from all sorts of enemies all the time. It's just a worthless. To me it is. But if you're doing something solo and you want to like distract or pull them. Oh, there he is. I need that. This door. Back attacks will do more damage. You can see the numbers were a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. It's because I was doing, you know, they couldn't notice me. You can sneak up on enemies. There's the shortcut. See, there's the shrine. You can sneak up on enemies and do some critical attacks, but you need to be, you've got to have some, I think it's a skill you have to unlock, which seems weird, but that's the way to go. Alright. We're gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna switch to my axe. So with the items, you can see now I've got a full set. Some of the items are yellow, white. This is following the same kind of system as the Borderlands in terms of its rarity. White, yellow, blue, green... no, I'm sorry. White, yellow, blue, purple. I don't think there's orange. At the end of the game, you will unlock like lime green, which is the highest tier of weapons and armor and things like that. So all it means is yellow items get an additional perk. You can see the difference. So a white item has 2 special effects, yellow has 3, blue has 4, and purple has 5. Green somewhere have 4 and 5, but they have a bonus set perk. Like the more items you're wearing of the same set, there's more things are unlocked for you. Oh, that's better armor. And in that way, it follows the style of like Diablo or any other kind of loot game where not as many of the special perks, but plenty of set armor bonus. You can see, like, I did 3 swings there, but my chi, it just ate my chi away. But again, you can see that this is, I'm watching their patterns. And that's all that is. It's just waiting for them to make their move, and then I attack. And it's a lot of back and forth. Now, again, basic enemies, but it's a good tutorial. All those things are worse. You're seeing as well when I pick up those items, if it's got a red arrow obviously pointing down, it means it's worse than what I currently have equipped. Blue arrows mean it can be better. But sometimes there are certain things where, even though it's got a blue arrow, I don't always equip it. I may have a piece of armor or a weapon that's got some really awesome and amazing stats on it that I just can't give up quite yet. You're gonna regret hitting me. Oh. Stones. Okay. See, there's the battle axe that's got a blue arrow, which means it's better. Which it probably does. And you can see my attack it's 10 higher. Quick attack damage and agility damage bonus. Close combat attack, chi reduction, strong attack break. So actually, even though this is 10 higher in terms of its attack, I actually like this one better because I'm doing a lot of close combat. Damage reduction and damage from fall. Oh, let's talk about fall damage. this is one of those games where you can hurt yourself from, and it's hard to judge where you know, something is a safe jump versus something is a horrible jump. It can happen. It does happen. Pretty much anything higher than this level, and where you jump down, it's gonna take some health away. Extremely high jumps obviously will kill you, and that's not fun. It is very easy to fall. These games are designed for, they want you to experience death on some level, so it'll happen. But just be aware of that. The other thing is water. Water is not your friend. You cannot swim. You will immediately drown and die, and it's horrible and awful. There are places like the beach where you can actually go on the water. Like if there's gravel underneath, you can walk on it and it's safe. If there isn't, get the hell out of there. Let's see if I can sneak up on this guy. I may not be able to pull off a critical because of... Yeah, I can't do it because I don't think I have it unlocked. But I did get 2 back attacks on him, and I really hurt him. Oh, there's a lot of... there. So you can see my strategy is just to not pull as many people, because it's just the stamina. So I'm one at a time. Now, you can take a different strategy when you're doing multiplayer with somebody. But generally, if you're doing one of these levels on your own, like this one, you are taking it careful.
Looks like I might be able to escape from the top of that tower. How can I get up there?
Okay. So, here's the other enemy that's in here, which are the knights. They are heavily armored. Yeah, I knew I was going to get both of them. You can't... I don't remember what you get for killing them. But they are difficult. If you do, I'll try and kill one. Oh, he's got his back turned. Awesome. But they've got heavy resistance. And they all use axes. Yeah, like that. How the hell can you roll on that? Oh, come on now. Be nice. Oh, see, he broke me there. And you can see I was winded and out of the... You don't want that. Oh, almost got him. Oh. So they will drop a lot of stuff. Ooh, 2 medicine. Battle axe. Oh, I got a breastplate and gauntlets. Oh, so I'm picking up their armor now. Okay, that's the other thing. So let's talk about armor real quick. There are 3 different types of armor. There's light, medium, and heavy. You can see in the top right corner where it says equipment weight. See how it's green? Means I'm wearing light armor, and I'm the most agile and mobile at green. I can do this and la 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 la. I'm very, very quick. If I put on, say, the breastplate, see how in the equipment weight it's going from 19 to 45? I'm still in the green, which means I can still roll around and be mobile, but if I put that on and I put like the gloves on, I'm still mobile. The trousers will probably... Oh, I don't know. Basically, the color's going to change. Green to yellow, still able to be quick, but your dodging is a little more slow. If it's in the red, welcome to one of our favorite terms, which is fat rolling. And you'll see it. It's very bulky and encumbered, and it's slow, and it basically changes your timing. Anything you're going to try and do, your timing definitely changes. Better breastplate. Nope. Oh, it's blue. So here you go. So from yellow to blue, you can see damage from fall, receive firearms damage, 6 defense, damage reduction. So it's a better piece, so I'm going to wear that. No damage from that. That's good. That night. There's 2 of them. I don't think there's anything in there other than, you know, you can fight them if you want for their armor, which is fine. I really don't want to. I want to keep going because I want to show you the other areas. Get you... Oof, scared me. Okay. Plus, I also want this. Okay. So the reset of the enemies. I don't remember anything being downstairs. Oh.
Using monsters like that to fight wars. Guess they got no more use for us. His body just split in two. Striking when the opponent is down and helpless.
There you go. Final blow.
That's what they try to do to all of us who fought for Queen and country.
That's like I said, when you expend all their chi, enemies' chi, and the red. If you've got them, basically, if they fall down and they're just lying on the ground for a little bit, that's when you use triangle to kill them, or at least do a heavy amount of damage. I'm not fighting that guy. I'm gonna go up. Drop attacks. For the most part, a drop attack won't... it may... Basically, you won't take as much damage if it was a normal drop. But... you may take some fall damage. But I did it in there, so that's good. I think generally you can avoid taking fall damage if you do a drop attack on an enemy. If there's no enemy, though, and you just, like, drop with your axe, that's not good. Okay, here comes the first boss fight. So again, because it's a boss fight, more health, but they have the same thing. You can get rid of their chi, but I'm just... It's all pattern watching and just getting in their face. There, I broke him. And I took his life. I took the executioner's life. How ironic.
Ah, it's you. The man with the guardian spirit.
Main antagonist. Hello. Oh! Lovely.
If I die, the secret of the stones dies with me.
Let me show you what these stones can do.
Oh, it's Jim Rash from Community, the Dean. Oh.
It's time for your execution.
Well, I thought I just had my execution. Oh boy. So here's our first yokai. Oh! But he hits much harder this time. And he's got a different set of attacks. Boss battles, in general, they've got two phases. So, usually when you get their health bar to half, they'll switch something up. And they'll make your life a little more difficult. It just adds one more step. Okay. It's talking about the Amrita now, the gauge, which we'll go into more detail.
Well done. Quite a feat. So this spirit shall guide me to the kingdom of gold.
Yes. Oh. Now, how the hell can he survive if he can't swim in the regular game? I don't know. Plus, he's wearing heavy armor. The hell? Oh, that's the other thing. So the cutscenes. For the most part, the cutscenes they're done in Japanese. William will always speak in English, but cutscenes are done in Japanese. There are subtitles. I think in Neo 2 you can change that so that they're English actors. Like, they're all Japanese, but they've got British accents, which is like, whoops. That seems a little inappropriate, but I prefer Japanese voice actors and then reading the subtitles. It feels authentic. Okay. So that's the Tower of London. I know it took me, what is it, like 38 minutes? But I'm trying to explain and play at the same time so you can see what it's all about.
During 2 years' voyage, the Helloff was lost. The trow sank, while the hope vanished without a trace. The good news of the Blythe Boatshap was nothing but lies. Only Leifta remained.
Whee!
An ironic twist. For what awaited us in the Far East wasn't love. It was monsters and death.
But I love monsters and death. Okay. So here come the RPG elements with regards to this. You have an option to choose 2 weapons in the beginning. The way that I operate is I usually choose something quick, like a sword or a kusagara, whatever, kusarigama. I like those. They're very quick and easy to manipulate and use. And then I choose something a little bit heavier, like an axe or an adachi. Tonfas are good too, but they're close range. So I like that stuff. Most people will choose like a sword and a spear. That's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. They're great all of these are great weapons. And the game actually has like achievements or trophies for basically mastering each set. So I'll show you something like, let's do dual swords. And remember, you can have two weapons. So I'm going to do dual swords, and then let's do the kusarigama and show you the difference. Now, just because I've selected these two items does not mean that I can't change them. All it's doing is adding a specific stat in my overall pool. You may choose your starting guardian as well. You can see that the attribute bonus, 1 to strength, 1 to spirit, 1 to skill. I usually go with Kato as a first run, just for the strength, because he's fire-based. After that, if you restart or replay or respec basic, because you can do that, I like the shark a little bit more. So then you'll get a recap. Do you want these areas? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, it's okay. As a first-time player, yes, play the tutorial. That's the dojo. It'll take you to the dojo to help you kind of get familiar and play a little bit more with the all the weapons and stuff like that. It will show you things like stance, which I'll do a quick. We'll look at stance, and items, how to use the items, that sort of stuff. I highly suggest it. It's a good kind of place to continually go back to kind of test some things. But I was going to show you the first mission here because of the shrine. And I'll show you what you can do. He lived like he died, with his mouth open. Alright, so you can see I'm standing in the water, but you can also see there's gravel underneath, so I'm okay here. But if I get closer, see this edge? No gravel. Bad, bad, bad. All of a sudden, William's been on a boat for 2 freaking years and he can't swim. Whatever. Ah. So there's some double swords. Skill points, we'll talk about that here. So the equipment has changed. I lost all my armor. Damn. But here are my new swords that I'm starting with. Okay. Let's see if they give me my small spirit stones. Okay. I'm not going to go over all the items because a lot of them have self-explanation, but if people need help, just ask me. Okay, here's your first shrine. The little green jelly demon that's right there. They're called Kodama. They are helpful. They are nice yokai. There are, in the main missions, there are Kodama that are hiding all over the level. The more that you rescue and save, the more that they will give you a bonus perk. It could be something like the ability to have more elixirs drop, or the ability to have more weapons drop. There's a percentage that's used in it. So not all the tags are open yet, but we'll talk about the most important one, which is leveling up. So when you collect enough Amrita, you can see at the very bottom how much you have and how much you need for the next level. Each time you level up, the cost increases. So, but when you level up, you have the ability to pick your perks. Okay, level itself is not really that important, except for the ability to equip items. If there's an item that's higher than your current level, obviously you can't equip it. What's important here is the picking of the perks to make your build as rounded as possible. I do not remember soft and hard caps for games like this, but you know, it's not like I could put all my points into body and have like this massive amount of health. No, there's a point where it'll reach where, you know, any more points that I put into it, like I get 1 point higher, and it's not worth it. Early recommendation would be to kind of round everything off at like 10. So 10 body, 10 heart, 10 stamina, even for things that you don't own. Because you can see here, like body is meant for spears, but body is also health. So it adds, I think for the first 10 levels, it adds like 40 life. So it'll go from 980 to 1020, 1060, 1100, that sort of thing. After 10, I think it drops to like 20 for a few levels, and then after that, it's like 10. So, but rounding everything out allows you access to pretty much the weapons and the magic and the ninjutsu, which are certain perks. Spirit is really important for your guardian, because you can see here, guardian. Spirit is what's required to open up all the other additional perks. So you can see that I've got this one, Spirit Protection at 20%. I can sense enemies. They show up on my compass, which is great. And then I get 100 life added to my health, essentially. But these other ones are closed off until my spirit gets higher. It's the same thing for certain weapons. Higher weapons may require like more dexterity or strength to use, so you've got to kind of pay attention to that. Okay, so leveling up. But again, you can always use the options button, and it will highlight and show you what each of these things mean. So I can go up here. Life is, you know, total health, chi, how much you have, attack for each weapon that's in those slots, defense, all that stuff, ninjutsu power. You have to be a certain skill to use ninjutsu and Onmyo magic. Each set. Onmyo magic are the use of talismans and how to, like, you know, make enemies weaker, make yourself faster. Ninjutsu is along the lines of evasive. You can have like things like fire shurikens and stuff like that, and then poison paralysis and the yokai realm, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Making offerings. You can make offerings, which is offering up things that you don't want anymore, to receive sometimes some special items in return. I do not like doing this, or to receive Amrita, sorry. I don't like doing this. It's not, I don't find it beneficial, because the items they're actually more valuable. I never sell items. I always dismantle them for their resources so that I can use them to make or strengthen better ones, basically. Okay. It's up to you if you want to do that, but I never do it. Boons, if you bought the DLC, if you have the DLC, the DLC is good. There's 3 parts to it, and at this point, I think it's pretty cheap to buy it. But if you do that, you can claim some unique things. Summoning visitors. We'll talk about this in a little bit. You can't do it in this level. You can when you come back and replay it, you can, but you can't do it in this level. Okay. Gotta make sure they're equipped. Alright. Guard and dodge. So you can guard and dodge, or you can just dodge in general. But guarding and dodging can be done together. Okay. What you're seeing now, since I'm in Japan, is I am regaining my chi at a faster level. So up in the left-hand corner, the bar, you can regain your chi faster by hitting the R1 button, and this will be in the dojo. And if you press it at the right time, the chi replenishes a hell of a lot faster than if you just let it go on its... So if I do this, see how slow it is? But if I keep doing this and wait till the chi replenishes a lot faster. That's the whole premise of it. So after like a 4-hit combo, I'll do that just to make sure I get it kind of back off. Oh, I got a better spear. I won't use it. I'm hoping to get a Surigama. Foot soldier armor. So, early on in the game, you're going to do a lot of, you know, once you kill an enemy and there's nobody else around, you're going to be kind of quickly going through and, you know, kind of equipping and going. Because it's usually better than what you've got equipped. So. Okay. 2 things. Let's go back here. In the lower right corner, you're going to see 2 things. You're going to see the wheel and the different stances. So stance is basically your play style. And you can change it on the fly. High stance, mid stance, low stance. Each have its own pros and cons. Low stance makes you incredibly fast. But the problem is low stance is it's the least amount of damage. It's not, you know, bad, but you're trading damage for speed. Mid stance is a balance between the two. And then high stance obviously would be slower attacks and greater chi cost, but the damage is more significant. You sheathe with circle, and the only reason you would ever sheathe weapons is because there are certain weapon attacks that you can do where if the weapon is sheathed and you pull it out, you can do some pretty amazing stuff with it. But that's for the skill set later on. Okay. So, the other thing is, in the lower right corner, you saw that I had Amrita, and that Amrita, the bar was gold. It's a signifier to let you know that you can level up. So I've got enough Amrita to choose where I want to put my stats in. Again, early on, I'm putting it into body, even though it's meant for spears. I just need that health. So going from 980 to 1020, it doesn't seem like a lot, but sometimes it's the difference between life and death. So I'm going to go back to mid stance because I like that. But I'll show you. Actually, I'll show you. So let's take this guy. So you can see I'm doing really low numbers against him, but I'm being quick. Whereas, there, I got a couple more. That one went into the hundreds. There's two of them. Let's see if I can get this guy with him. So there's my hundreds. So it's better than low. And then if I go high with this guy here. No, he's got an axe, so this might be good. There, I'm hitting much higher. But again, it's absorbing my chi pretty fast. Okay. Okay. Now I just did something stupid. In these early missions where the village is, it's probably a bad idea to not to run into those buildings without guarding. You want to guard hard, because sometimes there'll be like enemies sleeping in there, and you think they're dead. It's all little jump scares and trick surprises. They're trying really hard to kill you. Destructibles are worth. It's worth going through and destroying things because sometimes ammo, money. It's all worth it. Plus you can find items sometimes. Armor. Oh, I'm at 52. Okay, I'm still green. I really don't like heavy armor in this game. Over here. Look! Look! It's a little Kodama. Now, if you swing your swords near him, you don't kill him, but you're just going to guide the Kodama to the shrine. So, they automatically go back to the shrine. And again, the more you collect, the more you can choose from their perks once enough of them are there. There's an item down here. Oh, there's our first Revenant, too. Oh, there's... There. I don't know if you saw that in time, but the reticle was red. And I killed him. I did the final blow. Arm guards. Puts me right at 60, so anything over that I'm going to go into the yellow area and start being a little more heavy. Okay. Revenants. These are fallen... basically, these are other players who have been playing the game and have died. And you can actually fight their ghosts if you really, really want to. What's the benefit of fighting ghosts? Well, one of the best things that come from their drops are the Ochoko Cups, which are needed to summon other people for co-op. But these are not real people. These are AI. But they are... But they can be quite deadly. If you're not careful. So they're like mini bosses, basically. Oh, shit. But, regardless, even if you don't get Ochoko Cups, you can get armor. And you can see in my little feed, I also got Glory. Which is, it's stuff for clan battles. And it's for unlocking appearances and other things for the game. Okay. I'm gonna have one of these and move on because I'm not gonna go back to the shrine just yet. In the lower left corner, you can see that I've got a scroll with a sword on it. Those are samurai skills, and then the shuriken, which are ninjutsu that I can invest in. It's basically the same setup as the shrine. it can with the shrine. You're investing your points into something that is necessary and useful for you. I don't always fight revenants, just because sometimes you can find revenants of people that are like super high. I remember when I started playing this game, it was within the first week I was like rerunning this mission for the first time on a new character, and there was a revenant by the shrine that had drowned, but his level was like 153, and I'm like, why the hell are you here? But they're there because if the I believe if the revenant kills you, the real player gets some sort of boon back, which is crappy. But that's what that he was abusing the system essentially. All right, so I got my Suragama now. So here's my long-range weapon. That's got some perks. Now with my, I usually use low stance for this because the faster the whirlwind, it kind of blocks. It keeps people from attacking me. And I like it a lot. It's quick. It's easy. It's a lot of fun, actually. Oh, there's two of them. Let's go back to dual swords, then. Yeah, keep yelling at me. Crap. I'm used to recovering my chi with dodge, which is a skill you can unlock. I would suggest, you know, highlighting R3, or yeah, hitting R3 to have the enemies have it, you know, be locked on, because if they're not, it's difficult to get your hits in. If there are multiple targets and you've locked onto one, you just push left or right on the R3 button and it switches the targets so that you can keep fighting. Ow. Oh! There's my first death. Okay. Big fat punk. Okay. So, that's one of the key kind of things in this game, is death. When you die with your Amrita and your guardian and whatnot, you leave behind a gravestone, and it stays there. It's basically an indicator as to where you died. And it's actually, in other people's worlds, it's where a revenant will show up. One of those red gravestone sites, like right there. So this person died right there in his world. You have one chance to reclaim everything that you've lost in terms of your Amrita and your guardian spirit. If you die before getting back to that gravestone, you lose your Amrita, and you'll get your guardian spirit back, but you lose your Amrita. So all that progress for leveling up, it's gone forever, which can be infuriating. But again, it's, if you understand the concept of it, it's meant to, you know, test your skills. But if you get to it before, you know, you die again, you get everything back. You do not lose items. The only way that you lose items is if you die with items that are on the ground. They go away. You can't get them back. This should be me. Is this me? No. Is this me? Cut down by the outlaw. Oh, that's the guy back there. Nope. But you can see the people who have died. You can see their names. You will not see your own grave. Like, you cannot fight your own revenant. Just doesn't happen. Now, if you're playing co-op with somebody and they run across your grave, you can fight your own revenant that way, which would be weird and fun, but I suppose. There's my little Sharky. Come on. There we go. And there you can see I'm moving the reticle as to who I'm focusing on first. Spears are definitely more dangerous because they've got longer reaches, but this guy's being a little more active. Now, I could have done a finishing move on the spear guy, but I was afraid that the other one might kill me, so I just let him... I took the moment to let him kind of try and kill me. Or I took the moment where he was stunned so that I could... Oh, this is an outlaw, that's why. And he's got a huge sword. I almost have his chi down. Oh, he's high stance, that's why. Oh shit. You cannot do a finishing move if you're out of chi. That's the other thing. So even though the reticle was red, if you don't have the chi to do it, don't do it. Ooh, an elixir. Ooh. Sarigama. Oh. Dash, endurance, wind. No. Damage reduction. No. That's good. Damage towards snow clops. Those aren't even in here. What the? So weird. So many stats that can come on weapons and things like that. Like, if you're looking for god rolls, it's hard for god rolls to drop. It's easier to make your god rolls at the reforging station, which we can talk about at a later point. Because I'm coming up on almost an hour and 15, and it's a lot. Because I know I'm hitting you with a lot of information right off of the bat. I'm just trying to showcase what this is all about. I at least want to show you the first kind of mini-boss. The first yokai realm. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh, fuck. Shit, and a bandit with an axe. Crap. This is bad. Try and pick them apart. Okay. So, if enemies tire themselves out, like if they, you know, use their own chi, and they've got their own, you know, they make themselves go into their red bar by themselves, that's great. Because basically what that means is, if you just tap them once with an attack, they'll go down, and then you can pull off a critical attack. So sometimes it's worth letting them kind of tire themselves out, and then you can finish them off. I always love that. Another spy. Strong attack. Skill reduction. Let's use that. Those are swords. Oh, did that have lightning? Weaken armor. Yeah. It's hard to pull off a headshot with a sword, I'm afraid. Oh, the sword. Alright. So here's your first bow and arrow. Bows and arrows. You can block. See, like I said, it's going to take some chi, but you can block them. Getting close enough to them, they'll pull out their main weapon. But you can pull off... Oh, there's the longbow. Longbows are great. They're your snipers, basically. They're really good at one shots to enemies that don't wear helmets for silent attacks. Usually you can get a one-shot kill on a not helmeted soldier that way. If it's got a helmet, it will just knock the helmet off. And then you'll aggro him. The other weapon you can get is a gun. It's a long rifle essentially. Those can do one-hit kills with or without helmets, but they're loud. So. You can hear this kind of like bubbly sound. It's a weird kind of sound. That's an indicator for a Kodama. So if I stand next to it, you can hear it kind of. That's a good indicator. Like you know where they are when you hear that sound from them. Okay. Chi pulses also dispel the yokai realm, which we'll talk about here in this first one. Those gray swirling areas, those are yokai realms. They are extremely dangerous early on because if you are stuck in a yokai realm, it slows down chi reduction significantly, even when you do pulses. However, a perfect pulse will dispel it. It will get rid of it, and you can get back to the battle. So let's show you the first yokai. Big guy. I never fight him in here. It's too big, and the space is way too small. You can sneak up on him. Actually, I can show you the bow, too. should be able to come outside. I don't know why he's not there. That's what I want. Come on. There's your yokai room, the black and white pool. If you're standing in that, that will slow your consumption down, or your recovery. But if I do that, I can dispel it. All yokai have the same, you know, they've got a health bar plus their chi bar. Knocking their chi down is the easiest way to do like massive damage. They can do like a growl attack to restore their chi, and if they do that, like he did there, it'll come back into play. Oh shit! I don't want that. Shit. But you can see see that status bar? It's in the red now. It's signifying a slow reduction. Normally I can dispel that by doing a backup. But yokai realms they'll go away on their own, but when you're in tight spaces and no real way to run, it's better to do a key pulse to get rid of it. Pirate armor, fragment. Okay. There's a chest in here. No, there isn't. Oh, there's a body though. Yeah, that's what I need, the body. Key to resonance. Anything in full caps is it's a key item. And they're usually like close to where you are. So there's the village. Alright, so this is where I'm going to stop for this video and not show you the rest, because there's a lot of things that you should discover on your own. A lot of ways to play. But I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this helps kind of as a starter guide, things to do, things not to do. It is a fun game. I personally enjoy it. I love these kinds of challenging games, but not everybody likes them. So maybe looking at the gameplay has helped. Alright. That's it from me. Hope this helped.